In the latest State of Play, Sonic X Shadow Generations was officially announced. Ignoring the fact that it sounds like a fanfiction title, this game looks awesome already. The logo even pulls Shadow's logo from Shadow the Hedgehog. But with this quick announcement, it's easy to miss the details. So let's go over everything we know, and dive into this reveal trailer with a mini analysis. First up, as a quick rundown, this game is a remaster of Sonic Generations, bringing the game to modern platforms with updated visuals. But included with this remaster is brand new story content following Shadow the Hedgehog. It seems best comparable with Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, bringing the original game to new platforms and including a decent chunk of new content. It doesn't mean Shadow is going to be playable in the original Sonic Generations though, or replacing classic Sonic, or any of the other theorized ideas. Shadow's story seems to be an entirely new mode, if not a full-on short game, bundled with the Sonic Generations remaster. But what will Shadow Generations entail? Well, according to the PlayStation blog post, players will dive into Shadow's dark past to understand his motivations and learn more about him as a character. So, probably a bit different than the amnesia-driven, guns-blazing adventure of self-discovery in Shadow the Hedgehog. Looking at the first gameplay clip, we have Shadow grinding down a rail in a level set in space. We're pretty sure this is Final Chase from Sonic Adventure 2, and the next clip is in the same level. We can see the gun robot enemies as well as some gun-branded boxes. There's also a hint ring down here. Shadow is dashing forward, attacking enemies, similar to Sonic's homing attack. We can see the after images of Shadow's teleportation too. Next, we have the cinematic shot of Shadow kicking some sort of bright glowing object. Once he kicks it, it falls away, looking more like debris of a collapsing space station. Though, upon closer inspection, it actually looks like a large pod or tank, like something was inside here. Next, we have a shot of Shadow confronting Black Doom in a long hallway. Yes, Black Doom from Shadow the Hedgehog. And man, this is a long-awaited reunion. Anyway, this looks to be part of a boss battle, given the long hallway. We can see Black Doom use some magic that begins to affect the room around them, before it warps and transforms into some sort of portal for Shadow to fall through. It has a very interdimensional sort of feel with all the effects going on here. We can even see the buildings all folding in on each other. But the scene cuts away to what seems to be a pre-rendered scene, which also has Shadow falling through some sort of interdimensional effect. We can see his reactions as he moves towards these buildings, folding in a kaleidoscope effect. He sees Black Doom fly past, before the scene cuts to another shot of the pair. This one seems to be in Westopolis, when Black Doom and the Black Arms were invading. It's set over a city that's falling apart, with the skies a bright red. One of the buildings under Shadow has some sort of purple electrical effect, almost something digital. The scene changes to gameplay once again, seemingly in Radical Highway from Sonic Adventure 2. But with the floating buildings and the distorted roads, it's clearly not quite the same as it was before. Plus, Black Doom flies ahead of Shadow, and he definitely wasn't in this level before. So what's happening here? The scene cuts to Shadow in combat against more gun robots, but they're not quite the same here. They have a purple electrical effect around them, and they seem to be summoned from bright red portals, possibly from Black Doom's magic. We see that as Shadow fights them, rather than just destroying the robots, he's sending them into this large orb in the background, which we can see is actually a shielded Black Doom. So maybe this is all actually one big sequence as part of the boss battle. Starting in Final Chase, or at least the Space Colony arc, Shadow encounters Black Doom, and during the boss battle, he brings Shadow to different locations, such as Radical Highway. Moving on, we see Shadow battling against a Biolizard from Sonic Adventure 2. What's interesting is that this battle seems pretty different than it was in the original game, with the Biolizard sending out some sort of purple projectiles. And if we freeze right here, we can see that Shadow is actually throwing a projectile himself, like Chaos Spear. It hits one of the purple projectiles, stopping it. We then get a few shots of Shadow beating something up in a more cinematic clip. It's hard to tell what he's destroying in the first shot, but the second one, despite the desaturated background, seems to be set during the original Biolizard battle. And the third shot is during this new Biolizard battle. And that's all we can see for now from the trailer. So it seems that the Biolizard and Black Doom will both be playing major roles in Shadow Generations. This is hardly surprising though, given they're both pretty important to Shadow's backstory, and he's fought them both before. But as it turns out, the Steam description for the game actually gives us even more info. Play as Shadow the Hedgehog in a brand new story campaign featuring never-before-seen powers and abilities. When Shadow's old nemesis, Black Doom, re-emerges and threatens to take over the world, Shadow must journey into his own past, confront painful memories, face familiar foes, and unlock new powers to save the world, and prove why he's known as the ultimate life form. So, this confirms that Black Doom has actually reappeared as a threat. This isn't like the rest of Sonic Generations, where the time travel shenanigans are largely kept to the bounds of their original levels. Black Doom seems to be an even bigger threat, and possibly even the reason why Shadow is going through his past. It'll be interesting to see what we learn about Shadow's character and backstory as we go through this brand new story. And there were even going to be brand new powers. Personally, I can't wait for when this game comes out this fall. But with that, that'll do it for this mini analysis and rundown of info on Sonic X Shadow Generations. I gotta say, I'm pretty excited for the game. We've only had a small snippet of what Shadow's gameplay will look like, but it definitely looks closer to what fans know and love from Shadow's playable appearances over the years, even keeping his unique abilities. But what do you guys think? Are you excited for Sonic X Shadow Generations? Let us know your thoughts down below, and stay tuned to GameXplain for plenty more on Sonic, and other things gaming as well, of course. Until next time, farewell.